Long ago, in the heart of the African savannah, ostriches didn't look like they do today. They were short and plump, with stubby legs and tiny necks, much like oversized chickens. And among them was Oscar, the greediest ostrich of them all. Oscar had one great love in life: food. He ate more than any other animal, always searching for his next snack. But his insatiable hunger led him to a big mistake, one that would change him forever. One blazing afternoon, as the sun painted golden streaks across the sky, Oscar waddled through the savannah with his usual mission: find food, eat food, repeat. His beady eyes suddenly looked onto something spectacular: a massive tree filled with shimmering golden fruit. Hanging high above the ground, the scent was so sweet, it made his beak tingle. But it wasn't just any tree. It belonged to Baobab the wise elephant, the oldest and most powerful animal in the land. Everyone knew that Baobab's tree was off limits. Did that stop Oscar? Of course not. No one will notice if I take just one, he whispered, licking his beak. Oscar jumped. He flapped his tiny wings, but the fruit was too high. Frustrated, he stretched his neck as far as he could. And to his surprise, his neck grew. "Whoa!" Oscar gasped. His neck, once short, had elongated like a rope. Now able to reach a low-hanging fruit, he snatched it up and devoured it in seconds. But one was not enough. He wanted more. He needed more. So Oscar stretched his neck even further, and it grew again. The animals watched in shock as his neck became long and wobbly. "What's happening to your neck, Oscar?" cried Monkey. Nothing. Just a little growth spurt," Oscar lied, snatching another fruit. But his greed was not finished with him yet. His legs suddenly began to stretch like stilts, lifting him higher and higher. Now Oscar was tall, ridiculously tall. He towered over other animals. But instead of feeling powerful, he felt strange. Just as Oscar was about to grab his 10th fruit, the earth rumbled. A deep, wise voice echoed across the savannah. "Who dares steal from my tree?" The ground shook as Baobab the wise elephant stomped forward. His enormous ears flapped and his wise eyes narrowed as he gazed up at the awkward, stretched out Oscar. "Oscar, what have you done to yourself?" Baobab rumbled. Oscar tried to act innocent, but his long, stretched out throat made his voice sound squeaky and ridiculous. "Oh, I just grew a little," he croaked. Baobab sighed deeply. "Oscar, your greed has changed you. Because you stretched yourself for food, you will stay like this forever. Your long legs will always be long, and your neck will always be stretched, and you will never fly again. Oscar's beak dropped open. Wait, what? Baobab nodded. You wanted to reach the highest fruit. Now, you will always be reaching, but never fully satisfied. That is the cause of greed. Oscar tried to argue, but his long legs wobbled, making him stumble like a baby giraffe. The other animals burst into laughter. From that day on, Oscar was stuck with his legs, super long legs, and super long neck. Sure, he could run faster now, but he couldn't fit into his old burrow. He couldn't hide behind bushes. And worst of all, he could never fly again. The other animals laughed at his clumsiness, but they also had learned an important lesson. Greed will always stretch you too far until you can never go back. As for Oscar, well, he never stopped eating, but he did stop stealing. And if you ever see an ostrich running across the savannah, just remember, he's probably still trying to escape the consequences of his greedy mistake. And now, to the moral of the story. Greed can stretch you too far. If you take more than you need, you might lose what you already have. Secondly, honesty is the best policy. If Oscar had asked Baobab, maybe he would have shared, but stealing brought him misfortune. Be content with what you have. Always wanting more can make you blind to what's already good in your life. And that, my friends, is the hilarious and adventurous tale of how Oscar the ostrich got his long legs and long neck. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing animal tales.